Okay, so for this video, we're going to talk about the topic of sets. Okay, now let's start from the first question. Which of the following are sets? Okay, so remember guys, sets are a collection of elements that are well-defined and distinct. Okay, so well-defined and distinct. Okay, so this two word is this two phrase actually is pretty important, that you know that if you see that a sentence is an opinion, then we cannot say that it is a set. So let's start from the first question. So the first one, the collection of all days in the week, in a week beginning with the letter T. So we can actually say that in English language, right? So you can say that this is like Tuesday and then Thursday, right? So everyone in this world will say that it's Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, like, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. So which means that this is a set. The next one, the collection of all difficult question in the chapter of set. This is not a set. Why? Because not a set, because we have this word over here. So this is the keyword that define that this is not a set, because when I say difficult will be different from one person to the other person. For example, if we have a math problem, maybe I as a math teacher will say this is easy, but for you maybe it's difficult, right? So that's why, because we can like have different opinion between one person to the other. So this is not a set. Okay. Next one, the collection of all delicious food from Indonesia. Again, delicious here, the word delicious is an opinion, right? So which means that this is not a set. Last one is the collection of all male teachers in Sekolah Pelajar Indonesia. It means that we all know that who is male, who's not male, right? So which means that this is a set. This is a fact, right? So it's not an opinion. Okay, pretty easy. So let's go to number 27. Given a set, sets A, B, C, D. So set A, the elements are 3, 5, 7, 9. B are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on and so on. We have set D and set C, and then state whether it is true or false. So in here, guys, you can see that we have like two different sign here. So this means that it is the element of, right? Element. So this one, if I have a cross, this is not the element of, right? Okay, so if I say like this one, if we have like 13 and then this C, means that we read this as 13 is the element of C. Can we see that in here? We have set C over here and we cannot see 13 over here, right? So this statement is false. Again, because 13 is actually not in here. But this one say that 13 is the element of C, but the fact that 13 is not on the set of C. Okay. Next one is 6 is not the element of A. So let's go 6. Let's go to A here, and we don't have any 6, so which means that this is true, right? Because it said that 6 is not element of A. So yeah, it is true because 6 is not over here. The next one is 9 is not the element of A. So let's go back again here. So it is not true because 9 is the element of A, right? So it should be false. And last one is 31 is the element of D. So let's go over here. Do we have 31? Yes, we have, so which means that this is correct. So this is going to be true. Number 28, write the following set in the roster form. So in here, guys, the roster form means that you need to write down all of the elements that is on the set. Okay, so first question A. A is the set of all even numbers less than 12. So which means that we know that let's say A. So because this is set A, and then you only need to write down the elements of this set. So we know that the even numbers start from 2. So it said that number less than 12. So you're going to start from 2, and then 4, and then 6, and then 8, and then 10, and then we're done, right? Because you cannot include 12 because it's at less than 12, right? So 12 is not less than 12, right? So 12 is equals to 12. So which means that 12 does not include into the set A. Okay, next one. B is the set of all prime numbers greater than 1 but less than 29. So again, just write down the elements. So prime number greater than 1, we can start from 2, and then 3, and then 5, 7, 11, and then 13, and 17, and then 19, and then 23, and then I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. There you go. So yeah, just write down all of the elements. Okay. Okay, next, number 29. Write each of the following in set builder form. So when you want to write down in set builder form, you can actually like pick your own set. I mean, like you can pick your own notation. Okay, my notation is gonna be like this. So I know that these numbers, so question 8 here, we have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I can see that all of these numbers are integers, right? It said that it is a like a, what do you call it, an order number from -2 until 5, in which all of them are integers. So I can say set A will be equals to, so let's say as I'm using x in here, so x such that, so -2 is less than equals to x and less than equals to 5, and then x is the element of the integer, right? So in here I'm using this over here, guys, because we start from 2, right? -2, and then sorry, we start from -2 and we end up with 5, so that's -2 and this is 5. Okay, you can actually do write down like this. Like, so again, guys, you have a lot of option for this one, so you can actually write also like this. That will be, for example, -3 and then 6, for example. Yeah, you can actually write down like this, because we know that in here I'm gonna write down, I mean, like -3, because if we cannot start from -3 because this sign over here is greater than, so we are going to start the number after -3, which is -2, right? So this is also -2. So there will be a lot of like option for you guys to answer this question. Okay, so let's start. Let's go to the next question. The next question is C. That will be 2, 3, 5. This one here, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 19 at 13. So all of these numbers are prime number, right? So we can write it down like this. So B is equals to x such that, so it starts from 2 and with 13 I can again use the same exact notation like this one, right? So it's from 2 and then to 13, and don't forget that you need to write down what element are the x, and what types of number is it. So because it's prime, I can write down that x is the element of the prime number. That's it. Number 30, write the cardinal number for each of the following. So cardinal number is actually just the number of element that a set have. Okay, so let's start from question A here. So x is the set of months in a year. Since we know that a month in the number of months in a year is 12, right? So which means that the cardinal number of set x is equals to 12. That's it, right? Pretty easy. Next one, the set of letters in the word intelligent. So we only need to find, I mean, like calculate how many, like count how many letters are there in Y. So but remember, guys, that set is a well-defined and distinct object or distinct elements, right? So when I want to know how many elements, for example, let's list them out. For example, I am gonna start with I. So I is the first letter, the second letter is N, and the third letter is T, and the next letter is E, and the next letter is L, and the next letter is actually L, but you don't need to write down twice because it needs to be distinct, right? And the next letter is I already have I, so I don't need to write it down again. And I have G over here, and I haven't write that down, so I write down G. And then the next one is E. I have already E here, so I already have that. And then N, I already have that over here, so I don't need to write it again. And the last one is T, and I also have that over here, so which means I don't have to write that down. So you only need, after you list all of the letters like this, you can actually count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer for this question is equals to 6. Okay, next one, C, is the set of prime numbers from 2 to 23. So which means that we need to list them out first. Okay, so I'm gonna write down here. Yeah, maybe it's over here. So so Z, the elements of C in roster form, they will be from 2 to 22. So I'm gonna write 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and 23. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 elements, which means that the answer for this question is NZ, the cardinal number. The N stands for the cardinal number of Z. That will be equals to 9. Okay, number 31, draw the Venn diagram for pairs of sets below. Okay, guys, so when you want to draw a Venn diagram, the first thing that you need to draw is the rectangle like this. And then see how many set do you have in for this question A? Here we have A and B, and then you can have something like this, guys. So the like the possibilities of the circles will be like this. So let's say this is set A, for example, and I have another set oops, sorry. Okay, so the possibilities will be like this, guys. So there are a couple of possibilities. For example, like the two circles does not have does not intersect to each other, for example, like this, right? So if you have something like this, meaning that all elements of the first set and the second set, there are no elements that are the same, right? And then it can also be like this, like we call it subset. So meaning that all of the elements in this set, the one inside the bracket, is inside also the one on the like the bigger one. And the last one is gonna be like this. So the set will be having an intersection. So we have an intersection over here, meaning that the one inside the intersection, which is over here, that one is the elements that are the same. So if we can actually check before we draw it, we can actually check whether they have an intersection or not. Okay, for example, like I have the intersection, meaning that if the set have the same exact elements. So in here, set A and set B, we actually have one element that is the same, so which is this one over here and this one over here, right? So which means that those two elements, because they are the same from two sets, so which means that the Venn diagram will be like this. It will have an intersection. Okay, so yeah, so for this one you only need to write down the elements in here, the elements that notice, guys, when you want to draw the Venn diagram, it's the best idea to do it is to draw the one that intersect each other, so which is 5. So 5 will be exactly in the middle over here, that one element. Okay, let's say this is set A and this is set B. So which means that anything inside this set here should be this, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 should be inside this circle, the one that I just draw. So since we already have 5, so we haven't write down 1 2 3 4, so which means I'm going to just write down 1 2 3 4 over here. Okay, that's it. Okay, the next one is B. So the B, also the same thing. We have this circle over here. This is the element of B. So, but since we already have 5, we have already wrote that down, meaning that we only need to write down the other that we haven't write yet. So they are 6, 7, 8, and 9. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, the same question for question B. In here we have set P and set Q. In here, the first thing now we need to see whether they have an intersection or not. Intersection means that we see that if they have the same exact element or not. In here, actually, yes, we have A. This one also have A, right? So that is going to be the intersection. So it means that the Venn diagram will be like pretty similar with this one, right? So let's just draw a rectangle first. Oops, sorry. Should use this one. Okay. Okay, like this, for example. And then I'm gonna draw a circle. I'm gonna copy that circle, and since we have an intersection, which is the A, so the Venn diagram will be like this. Okay, now name the element, name the set first. So for example, this is P and this is Q from here, P and Q. And then write down the element. The first element that we need to write is the intersection, which is the A, right? So A is this A over here. So in here is, so in this circle, you should put all of the elements for set P. So we haven't write the B, C, and D for the set P, so just write that down. Okay, so let's write down B, C, and D. B, C, D. And the next thing with this one is set Q. So everything inside that circle should be included into the set of Q. Okay, now I have already write down the A here. So the elements that we haven't write is E, I, O, U. So E, I, O, U. That's it. Okay, number 32, solve the question of sets below and draw the Venn diagram consisting the cardinal number. Okay guys, so in here, if you see on the last page, you will see a formula, which is this one over here, sets formula, right? Sets formula over here, right? This one over here. So we can use this formula here to calculate the one that, yeah, the number that we're discussing here. So I'm gonna write down the formula. That'll be n a. So this guy over here is read union. This guy over here is read intersection. Okay. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So we have NA, we have NB, and we have NA union B, and we want to find N intersection B. So I'm gonna write down the formula first. There'll be NA union B equals to NA, and then plus NB, sorry, plus NB, and minus NA intersection B. Okay, now this is a very simple algebra, guys. So anything you have from the question, you only need to rewrite them in the after you write down the formulas in here. So this is the NA union B, and you have that over here, which is 19. Just write down 19 over here, and then NA, you also have it over here, which is 10. Just write down 10 over here, and then plus NB is this one is 15. Again, then write down 15, and then minus NA intersection B. And yeah, this is what we're looking for. Okay, so we need to add both sides by NA union B, so this one is gone, and I'm going to subtract both sides by 19. So NA union intersection B equals to 10 plus 15 minus 19. So you can actually see that we only be swapping these two, right? So swap that one over here, that one over there. Okay, so yeah, simple algebra, guys. So it means that NA intersection B is just 10 plus 15 is 25. 25 minus 19 is equals to 6. There you go. So draw the Venn diagram, meaning that this is going to be the intersection, right? So the Venn diagram in here is going to be consisting the cardinal number. So let's draw the what do you call it, the rectangle first. I'm going to write it here. Okay, since we have an intersection, guys, remember what we have done before, right? This is the intersection over here, so it means that they are the same. So we also have the intersection, which is this one, right? Intersection. So the Venn diagram will be something like this. So draw a circle, and then like you should have two circles in here because there are I mean, like there, it has a intersection over here. So I'm gonna copy it. Nice. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and so it will be like this, right? So it will have an intersection. Yeah, you don't have to be pretty precise on the drawing, guys. That's fine. Okay, again, guys, what we need to write down first is the intersection, which is this one in the intersection. There'll be 6, so 6 is over here. Okay, the next one is let's name the set first. This one is A, this one is B. So we need to put something over here, right? So remember that the one inside this circle should be 10, right? But we already have 6 over here, so which means that the one over here is just the rest of that. So it's a very simple calculation, guys. It's just 10 minus 6, which is equals to 4. So can you see that if I add these two, they'll be equals to 10, right? Because this one is the number of elements inside the set A. Okay, next thing, the same thing would be here, guys. So we have NB is equals to 15. Again, this the number of elements in this circle here is going to be 15, but since I already have 6, so which means that the one over here is going to be 9, because 6 plus 9 is equals to 15, and that belongs to B, right? Okay, now you're actually, oops, sorry, gonna be how many? 15 minus 6 is equal to 7. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing actually you need to do is to check whether your answer is correct by just adding all of these numbers. So all of these numbers, if you add that will be the NA union B, right? So if I add 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 9 is equals to 19, so 19 is over here, right? So sometimes you need to double check the answer so that you don't make some mistake. Okay, next question is actually the same thing. We're going to use the formula. In here, what's given from the question is NA and then NB, the cardinal number of set A, the cardinal number of set B, and the cardinal number of A intersection B. Okay, so again, guys, this sign over here is intersection. This one is union. Okay, we can just write down the formula again. NA union B equals to NA plus NB minus NA intersection B. Then again, guys, if you have the values from the question, just write down exactly below them. Okay, so this one is we don't know that yet. That is the one that we want to know. And we have NA here is this one 11, right? So there'll be 11 over here, and then the next one is NB is 14, right, from here. And then NA intersection B is over here, which is 5. So pretty easy, right? You only need to like calculate that. 11 plus 14 is 25. 25 minus 5 is equals to 20. Okay, next, in a class there are 40 students. 20 of them likes chocolates, 28 of them like candies. Draw the Venn diagram to solve how many students who like both chocolate and candy. So when we have who likes both chocolate and candy, it's meaning that this is going to be the intersection. Okay, so both of them means that is going to be included into two sets. Okay, so this is what we're looking for, NA intersection B. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna write down here. So that is this one here is the combination of all of them, like the union. If you combine all of the student that we're talking here is all the 40. So that'll be NA union B, and that'll be equals to 40. And then 20 of them likes chocolate, for example. Chocolate is A, and then candy is B, for example. So NA will be equals to 20, and then NB they'll be equals to 28. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. And again, we can use the same exact formulas. NA union B equals to NA plus NB minus NA intersection B, and that is what we're looking for over here. Okay, now substitute all the values that we know from the question. In here we have 40, in here we have 20, and here we have 28, and then minus NA intersection B. Or we can write down 40 equals to 48 minus NA intersection B. So I'm gonna add both sides by A intersection B, and I'm gonna subtract both sides by 40, so they'll be like this, right? So meaning that the conclusion, so because it said that how many students who like both chocolate and candy, so we can write down there are 8 students who likes chocolate and candies. Okay, number 33, universal set is this, right? So remember, guys, if we have a universal set in a Venn diagram, right? So that is going to be like everything that you like every single number in the universal set should be inside the rectangle. Okay, now I'm gonna write down the elements here so that you can really see what happened here. So it said that the universal set is x such that x is less than equals to 20, and then x is the element of natural number. So we know that natural numbers start from 1. So I'm gonna write down u over here. So as the universal set, I'm gonna start from 1, right? And then 1, and then 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and last one is 20, right? So these are the elements of the universal set. So it's just remember, guys, if for example I'm just like right down over here, so it will be impossible if I have like the set over here that consists the an element that is outside the universal set, right? So if in a question you need to see the universal set first, so make sure that the elements that you write down for example for the raster form is included into the universal set. Okay, let's start from question for the A. So for A in here, the element said that x is less than 12 and x is prime number, so we know that prime numbers start from 2. So 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So that those are the numbers, the value is like the elements of set A. So we can see actually here, so 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 is inside the universal set, right? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 is over there. So yeah, you're done for set A. Okay, now let's go to set B. Set B over here is yeah, you don't have to do anything because we already have the roster form. Pretty easy. Okay, now from the information below, determine the roster from set A. So we already done that, so that's fine. Okay, the set of A union B. So you only need to write down the elements of A union B, meaning that you're going to combine these elements and these elements. But remember guys, if you have the same element, you don't have to write it down twice. Okay, so I'm gonna write down over here, so 2 over here, 3, and then 2, 3, and then we have 4 over here, and the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so yeah. And the next one is the set of A intersection B, meaning that we only need to see the element that are the same. So in here, the elements that are the same is 5, 7, and 11, right? 5, 7, 11. So that this is like 5, 7, and 11. That's it. Okay, next question number 34. So I'm not going to discuss this because it's actually the same thing as number, where is it? I forgot. Number, oh yeah, here we are, number 32, part C. Okay, so it's pretty same, it's actually the same thing. It's only like different values. Yeah, so let's skip that. Okay, the last question for this video. So there are 300 people in a village. All adult male work as a fisherman, farmer, or both, while women and children stay at home doing the chores. Below is the data of how many fishermen and farmers. Okay, so in here, so most of the time that you need to do first is like, okay, which one is A, which one is B, right? So it's up to you actually to determine which one is set A and set B. If it doesn't say anything about it, for example, I'm gonna use fisherman as set A and then farmer as set B. So for this one, this is gonna be NA equals to 85, right? This one over here. So this one is gonna be NB. It'll be equal to 74. And here, 32 villagers work as both fisherman and farmer. Remember, this both mean that it is included into two of these, so meaning that it's going to be the intersection. So this NA intersection B is going to be equals to 32. Right? Okay, now in here guys, don't get fooled. That's this 300, right? So these values here, these numbers are representing the fisherman, farmer, and yeah, fisherman, farmer, and both. So but in this question guys, there are 300 people in here, but there are not all of them are fishermen and also farmers. So there are people who are excluded for that fisherman and farmer, so which are the women and children. So we will see a little bit different in terms of the Venn diagram later. Okay, so for now let's just focus on here. Okay? So we have NA, we have NB, and we have NA intersection B equals to 32. Okay, now the first thing we do is to draw the Venn diagram. So pretty sure guys, so the same thing like before, when drawing the Venn diagram, you need to draw the rectangle, and then after that you have to draw two circles, right? So the circles representing the A and B in here, because we're only talking about two things in here, A and B, which are the fisherman and the farmer. So I'm gonna write down, I'm gonna draw the here. Okay, so and again, because we have an intersection in which they are both, there are some males, adult male, that are that have both job, which are the fisherman and farmer. So the there will be an intersection for the circles, right? So for example, circle number 1 is over here, and then circle number 2 is gonna be, for example, like, I'm just gonna do it again guys, here, over here. Okay, so there'll be an intersection which is over here. So the number that we're going to write down is just the, it's not the elements, but the total number of people in here, which is the cardinal number. So the one that we need to write down first is the one in the middle, which is 32. That'll be just intersection of A and B. Okay, now name these two sets, for example A and B. And remember guys, in here we have NA equals to 85, so you don't write an 85 over here. No, you don't. Why? Because in here there are 85 of fishermen, so which means that, right, so inside this circle, right, you have 85 people, but you have already taken 32, which is which are the people who also being a farmer. So which means that the number over here is going to be 85 minus 32, right? So that'll be 53. 5 7 8 5 6 7 8, yeah, yeah, 80 53, yeah. So yeah, you don't have to write this down, guys. Oops, sorry. Okay, oopsie. Okay, the same thing with the one over here, guys. So in that circle, right, in this circle here, there should be 74 of them, right, as a farmer. But again, since we already have 32 over here, so which means that the value in here will be 74 minus 32, and that will be equals to 42. Yes, it is 42. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're not done yet because we know that there are 300 people in the village, right? But in here we don't have 300 yet, right? Because if I add all of these numbers, 53 plus 32 plus 42 plus 32 plus 42, that is not equal to 300, right? So which means that remember that these the one inside these circles, right, are the people who work as fishermen or farmer, or both of them, right? So which means that we have something outside, right, outside these two circles, which is over here, right? That is going to be the number of people in the village that is not working as a fisherman and farmer or both, in which they are the woman and the children, right? The woman and the children. Okay, now to find how many numbers of people over here, the women and children, you only need to, like, okay, so for example, I'm gonna add all of these numbers, right? So 53 plus, let me check my calculator here, 53 plus 32 would be 85, right? 85. 53 plus 32, yeah, 85, and then add it with 42, and that will be equals to 127, right? So which means that the rest of them are women and children. So which means that the woman and children is over here, this one, the number, like, yeah, the value over there should be from 300 minus 127, because this is 127 if I add them together, right? So if I subtract that, it'll be 173. So 173. Then again, guys, you don't have to write this down, no problem. Okay, now, yeah, we have the Venn diagram. It's going to be easy to answer all of the question. Now, how many villagers are women and children, which is this one, right? 173. So that's it, 173. And then how many people that works only as a farmer, meaning that since we have already determined that the farmers like denoted by the set B, so it means that this, the one inside this circle is going to be the farmer, but we have 32 of them who also work as a fisherman. So as in which for this question, only as a farmer is represented by this number over here, so that'll be 42. Okay, how many people that works only as a fisherman? The same thing, but this time it's going to be A, because A is for the fisherman, right? So that will be represented by this number, which is 53. Okay, the next one is how many people that only have one job, which are this only one job, this is only one job, they don't have a job, this one have two jobs, right? So which means that that is just like 53 plus 42, and that will be equals to 95. That's it.